Retirement. This is what a lot of people think about when they think of retirement. Beaches, a nice house, and just relaxing and having the occasional vacation every single year. But the 401k is no longer the same as before. Americans are pulling money out of their 401k plans at a super fast rate, a rate that we've never seen before. And guess what a lot of that money is going towards? Their house that they recently bought. So a lot of Americans in their mid-30s and also the mid-40s are taking out a record amount of retirement money. And that's because of very high inflation, very high prices everywhere, and of course, lastly, if they don't take it out and pay off their mortgage or just pretty much buy some time on their house, the banks take their home. So this is what's happening here. It's not me saying this, guys. You got guys like Bank of America releasing statements that more Americans are tapping their 401k accounts because of financial distress. Vanguard is saying it, BlackRock is saying it. If you look at this, the number of people who made a hardship withdrawal during the second quarter surged from the first 3 months of the year to almost 16,000, an increase of 36 whopping percent from the second quarter of 2022. And Bank of America is saying that a lot of these people are pulling their money out, not really to pay off like other distress payments, but it's mostly the homes. There's just so many people that bought way too many homes during the pandemic, or they bought a home that was just too expensive. Like I knew people personally that bought like an $800,000 home when in fact they could only purchase one that's $500,000. And the reason why they bought $800,000 was because of 0% interest rates. They're like, oh, I'm gonna have my job forever. We're probably getting some pay raises, and it's okay to buy a more expensive home. Just bought way too much house, essentially. And now they're paying the price. And there's even some people, I've been hearing stories on Reddit, they have to pretty much tap their 401k just to survive the next few months of mortgage payments. Because if you don't pay your mortgage for the next 3 months, guess what? The banks are going to go in and take your home. And this is where we're getting into. Home foreclosures are on the upswing nationwide. Home foreclosures are up a whopping 34% from the same time last year. This is not a great sign for homeowners. And it's really frightening to see how many people over leveraged during the pandemic. There was so much money to be made. A lot of people were doing side gigs. A lot of people were doing Fiverr. A lot of people were self-employed and making a bunch of money. People were making money from stocks, from crypto, and they thought they could afford very expensive homes. Many of these homes are now finding new buyers, right? But buyers don't really want to get some of these secondhand homes. So despite people who are late on their mortgage, they try to sell it to make a little bit of money back. Nobody wants to buy it, right? In fact, new home sales are on the rise. Everyone's buying new homes because those big construction companies can offer you guys very low interest rates. Like we're talking about 4 or 5, even like 5.5%. That's like really good rates. But if you go to the second home market, you're going to be facing some pretty fierce competition. And a lot of these mortgage rates are very, very high. So new home sales are up, but secondhand home sales are down, which, like I said, home foreclosures are skyrocketing nationwide, up 34%, which is unacceptable. And now Americans are now tapping into their 401ks just to pay off their mortgage or just buy some time. Now you may be also be saying, oh, what about like the job market? I thought the job market was pretty good. Nope, job market's pretty bad. U.S. labor market loosens as job gains slow. Unemployment rate is hitting 3.9%, and this article was in early November. And just a few months ago, guess what the unemployment rate was in America? It was 3.3%. And people even say that 3.9% isn't even accurate, considering the fact that you got a lot of high-paying jobs being cut, and we have some really sus numbers and sus calculations for the unemployment rate. Some people are saying that certain counties and cities in the United States have an unemployment rate of over 4% or even 4.5%, and even rumors of 5% in some areas. And we're also seeing very high-paying jobs being cut. Like six-figure incomes, and only six-figure incomes can support very expensive home prices. And when high-end jobs get cut, you have these wealthier Americans now forcing to take out retirement money. Some of them are in their late 30s, some of them are in their mid-40s, even some in the early 50s are having to pull out funds as quickly as possible just to pay their home. That is a pretty sad thing to see here in the US. And just to make matters worse, with this high interest rate market, we're going to be seeing even more unemployment, and the feds want more unemployment. Guess what the Fed said today? Barkett, not willing to take another rate hike off the table. He wants another rate hike. He wants to hike it maybe 1 or 2 times just to double be sure that rate hikes is going to get inflation down. But inflation is having a very difficult thing getting. One of the Fed members on Jay Powell's team, Barkin, is saying that he is not willing to take another rate hike off the table just yet. He says that inflation is still very high. He's not convinced by the latest numbers. And other Fed members are saying the same thing. They feel like everyone is saying a rate cut for May 2024, but that may be too soon. So Barkin may be wanting for another rate hike just to cool the markets even more. Guess what's happening to the stock market? It's at like almost an all-time high price, which is an absurd amount. And this is also causing many people to freak out in the housing market. Prices of new homes drop further, negative 18% year over year. Sales drop, there's high inventories, supply jumps. So you have a bunch of homes on the market. Builders are going crazy, but the number of buyers is decreasing every single day. As unemployment goes up and more high-paying jobs are getting cut, you're going to be seeing less and less luxury homes, less and less homes over $500,000 going to be sold. And most homes recently being built are pretty expensive. Like they're over $400K, $500K. It's not cheap at all. So going back to the original article, Americans pulling money out of their 401K's. It's a very troubling matter because if more Americans do this, what's going to happen 5, 10, 15 years down the line? You got Americans that can't retire because they don't have any funds left in their retirement accounts. And this is increasing every single quarter. Like you're talking about a 30 to 40% jump compared to last year. Well, what about next year? It's going to be even worse, I feel like. And people are saying that the amount of Americans taking out funds is at an all-time high. Even guys over at Charles Schwab and Fidelity, who specialize in things like 401K's, retirement plans, are all saying people are just taking this money out. I mean, they don't really care about retirement. They just want to pay off their home. They bought way too much house, too many expensive properties, and they truly over-leveraged, and now they're facing financial distress. And this is like some really crazy stuff. I've never seen this many people just said, screw the 401k. They need to pay off some bills right now. You have people buying cars they can't afford. You have people buying houses they can't afford. People just putting things on their credit card. We got a record Black Friday sale. But guess what? Most people just did the buy now, pay later situation. I think Americans are just going nuts right now. People are just spending money like crazy. Consumerism, we need to chill out a little bit. And of course, 0% interest rates is a blessing and a curse. We all know that the blessing is you can finally get a home at a cheaper interest rate, but the curse is everyone over leveraged to the top. There wasn't a single person I knew that didn't over leverage. Everyone over leveraged. If you over leverage, don't be too ashamed of yourself because everyone's doing the same exact thing. There's a lot of debt right now. A lot of credit card debt. Credit card debt is over $1 trillion. We are in some bubble territory stuff. This is some very dangerous territory that we're in. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below, like, comment, and subscribe for more.